everybody's too tuned into what's going on. I don't think it's just a matter of patience, but when you're basically tapped into these people's lives 24/7 with social media, the internet, all these things now.
That's the fans' fault.
I don't think that's the fans' fault.
I think it's partially on the fans. I mean, yeah, they've let back the curtain a lot on a lot of things, but I think it's really easy to not get super involved in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even for me, I've been on the internet for a while, forums, wrestling forums. It's, for me, I've enjoyed the product a lot more lately, just by removing myself from a lot of those. Like, I'm only on like one wrestling group now, and usually I just post memes. Like,
you do. I can attest to that.
Like, I'm not reading these dirt sheets. I don't care what the plan is for Survivor Series. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have way more fun watching the product now.
Can we agree that the impact that social media has on professional wrestling has been more negative than positive?
Yes and no. I think you can also make the argument that it's opened the doors for a lot of guys who would have never, ever been known otherwise.
So exposure,
but for good reason, maybe.
No, not necessarily. I don't think a guy like Finn Balor would have ever,
I think,
shown up if it hadn't been for the internet.
I think the internet will give you Finn Balor. Internet will also give you, you know, the Gymnasty Boys.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or
I don't disagree that there are guys who have gotten attention from the internet that don't deserve it. But I also think that there's just a lot of stuff you wouldn't even know about had it not been for the connectivity that we have because of it.
I mean, yeah, of course.
And then you wouldn't be able to see something like New Japan. You wouldn't be able to have the alternate to the mainstream.
I don't know. I think the cream always rises to the top. So even if we didn't have the internet as crazy as we did now, if we would, the hardcore fans would know about great wrestling all around the world, because they always did. They were trading tapes back in the fucking day. You know what I'm saying? So
then, is it no different than being a tape trader today? Is being an internet fan no different than being a tape trader back in the 80s and the 90s?
It's much different, because you don't have to seek it to be an internet fan. You're just on the internet. It's there. It's everywhere. Like,
it comes to you.
It comes to you. So you're not, and there's no real quality control. Everything is on there. You know, tape trading. I want Dean Malenko matches. You know what I'm saying? You weren't just picking up random fucking tapes and stumbling across random fucking guys in, you know, DDT or whatever the fuck. Like, you know, maybe once in a while, but you could control the content you consumed back then.
You just made the argument yourself. You can control the content that you want by just what you go out and looking for. With you saying that you avoid the dirt sheets, you avoid this, that, and the other thing.
No, I control my enjoyment of the product by not seeking dirt sheets. That's different than controlling the actual wrestling that I watch.
I don't see that being any different. In order to find the content that you're going after, you have to be subscribed to it one way or another. Whether you're in a group that everybody's talking about wrestling, or you follow a certain website.
So you mean to tell me without dirt sheets I wouldn't know what Lucha Underground is?
No, that's not my point. I'm saying that the things that I'm trying to put this so it's a little more black and white.
Yeah, get it together.
Like, if I wanted to see strictly WWE stuff on the internet, right? There's a direct place to see that, right? I'm going directly to that. I'm looking directly for that. If I'm looking for something directly, I'm going directly for that. I'm searching for that. Just like you would be if you were tape trading. And then you've got word of mouth, so people are sharing things word of mouth. But if you don't want to see the Joey Ryan dick flips, there's a way to avoid it. It's not being shoved in your face. You're not being forced to watch it.
No, you're not. But it's there. I'm just saying it's there.
And you don't think if something like that were happening back in the tape trading era and it was spreading by word of mouth, it wouldn't be no different than you seeing it in a Facebook post? No, I'm just trying to.
I'm trying to like where the fuck did that come from? I'm not even.
But you're saying that it's the way I'm interpreting what you're saying is that you're getting things that you're not looking for, that you don't want to see.
Yes,
but that's how things would have happened back in tape trading time. You would have seen something on a tape that you weren't necessarily looking for, but it was there.
Yeah, it was there, but it wouldn't.
Or one of your friends would have been like, "Oh, I got this crazy tape from Japan that's got this on it. You know, you should check it out." Or it's different than
no, because the difference would have been, I got this crazy tape for Japan. Check it out. The main event is Dean Malenko versus the Great Sasuke, and it just happens to have some fucking weird ass, crazy, weird shit. You're not trading that tape because of the crazy, weird shit. You know what I'm saying? You're not saying, oh man, this tape has a fucking dick flip in it, but it also has Dean Malenko versus the Great Sasuke. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on the internet. People are just you're getting just Joey Ryan. People just talking about Joey Ryan. People are just talking about the dick flip spot. You know, yeah, it was a byproduct back then, but now that's the spotlight. And that shit is getting more over than the actual fucking wrestling. And that's not by casual fans. That's by these supposed hardcore fans.
I mean, I'll make the argument that if something, is drawing an audience and somebody finds it entertaining, there's place for it.
So take a shit in the middle of the ring.
No, I'm not. Okay, no. Well, we've seen some stuff. I think the Joey Ryan stuff is the tamest of some of the stuff that we've seen.
Look, my thing is, he can be that I've always said he looks like a good porn star. He should do porn. Why is he wrestling?
Know the show, honestly, but I
What are you saying? He's hung?
No, I'm not saying. Really, he's not for that spot. You can tell he's not that hung. I mean,
I don't know. Back to the internet issue. I think it's done good things for the business, and I think it's done bad things for the business.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You could say that about literally anything. At some point, you have to take a side.
Honestly, I would say if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, the internet's done good things for the business.
Yeah, I'll say if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, yes.
It gives you more access to things you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
and when you get
I'd
the
say
good,
that's probably the biggest advantage.
When you get the good, you get the bad. It's also I mean I don't like the fact that kayfabe is dead.
That's like my biggest problem.
I think that's the biggest peeve, but then I mean it's just rolling with the times. It becomes a situation where
I think you could always re-educate fans. You could always present the product different. You could always utilize the internet in a certain way that you could keep certain aspects of kayfabe. Like, I don't need to fucking see Bray Wyatt take Instagram of him at the fucking Froyo spot with his family. Like, I just don't need. Why do I need to see that?
But at the same time, why doesn't he deserve the right to be a normal person?
Because he's in this business. No one in this business has ever been normal. There's never been a normal people's business.
But it's a business that's been. But it's now a business that's been exposed as being just another form of entertainment.
And that's why it's just not that popular anymore. That's the bottom line.
I think shit like that hurts
because people think that. Some people think that people in the 60s and 70s really thought the shit was real. People thought it was bullshit back then, but they weren't being beaten over the head with the fact that this is bullshit. The company wasn't telling you, hey, this is fake. Why are you getting so invested in this for? The company wasn't telling you that. They weren't insulting your intelligence, but they were still trying to present.
No, but then you also had a situation where Ric Flair shows up at the hospital. And they basically call the police on him because they think he's there to fucking kill Wahoo McDaniel. Like, come on. I mean, you can't tell me people didn't
That
believe
shit's
it was
hot.
real.
That shit's hot.
And I
Some
mean,
people did, but
you also live in
a
you also live in a situation now where we are so connected that if they did shut it off like that and go back to, you know, people trying to believe certain aspects of it,
My thing
you're
is, you
gonna
don't
have
have to-
crazy people who are doing crazy things, and you need to protect your ass at that point.
that's always been the name of the fucking game. Like, so what if you gotta just have eyes? So what if you gotta protect yourself in the crowd? Like, that's the fucking business. I don't understand why people. It's like people are afraid of wrestling being this violent thing. It's wrestling. Like, people are afraid of wrestling being this just edgy and kind of people are afraid of it being what it's supposed to be, what it's always been. Like, I don't see why we can't have something in society that isn't completely fucking corny popcorn bubblegum bullshit. Why can't we have something to cling to that's a little bit, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Give us something. Wrestling used to be that something.